Welcome to another edition of Vigorously with solo act Alex in the building. I am thrilled to have you here. I feel like I know you. I really like this. This is just amazing.
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten to know each other a lot throughout the year.
We have. It's been so fun. Last time we talked, you were gearing up for tour. You've experienced that tour now. How was it?
It was awesome. It was a short tour, which I liked, but it was my first like actual tour. So I went in there fully expecting chaos, and there wasn't really that much chaos. It went pretty smoothly, except for a show got canceled. But other than that, like it was really cool, and it just gave me the bug because I'm like, I want to do this all the time now. Um, it's just expensive, so I'm like, you know what? I'll wait till next year.
Oh, how
Yeah,
much? So, how much of that are you funding on your own?
all of it,
Let's give everybody a dose of realness right now. All of it.
everything.
Damn.
Mean, like hotels, van rentals, any sort of, I have my own merch and just everything that goes into it, I pay. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, that's why she's booked and busy. You killed it celebrating Halloween this year too, our mutual favorite holiday. We got a Hex Girls cover. That was a delight to listen to. And you took a trip to the actual Camp Crystal Lake. Please give me all the details on that trip because I didn't even know it
So,
like legit existed.
so same. I live in like New York, like right at the border of New York, New Jersey, and I was like watching something, and they were talking about Crystal Lake, and like I was already watching, I watch those movies normally, but like because of holiday, my holiday, I was going
Yeah.
through and I was like, let's just go through all the movies again. Anyways, but something popped up about Crystal Lake, and I was like, I wonder where they filmed that. I don't know why that just came up to me. Also, I think it's because I was IMDb because I can't watch something
Yeah.
without being on IMDb, and it was
Me either.
yeah. So I went through the whole thing, and it said that it was filmed in Jersey, and I was like, wait, where in Jersey? So then I typed in Camp Crystal Lake and it popped up because of where they filmed it. So it's this whole thing. And like, I didn't realize how crazy it was when I was there, but they had so many people and they take you on a tour. It's an actual camp and like it's a real camp that people still go to. And it's obviously in the off season, so no one's there. But they show you like where they film everything and like they're like you can take pictures. There's another tour that was like 4 hours long that I didn't do because I that's a lot. So this one
Yeah.
was like 2 hours, and they show you, all like the cool places where they shot everything. They have like the boat set up where, Jason comes out at the end. Like it's spoiler alert, sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, come on, if you haven't seen it by now, really.
I was like, wait,
Like,
shit. Um, but yeah, it was just so cool. The only bad thing is I was like really sick. I got really sick
oh
like
no.
week of October. So I had all these things like planned. Like I missed Comic-Con. I was so upset. But yeah, so I was just like deathly ill the whole time. But I had fun.
I mean, Crystal Lake, Comic Con.
I know. And like
I
I've
think
been
I would choose Crystal Lake.
yeah, no, 100%. And like I've been to Comic-Con like 100 times. But I don't know. Like I said, it's my Christmas. I go to Salem, I go to Comic-Con. It's like my thing. So it's kind of sad that I couldn't do all of it, but I'm being greedy.
Yeah. I get that way during every fall too. I'm like, how am I going to fit all of the things that I want to do in? And somehow we just like either prioritize or we just make it happen because we're just that excited. I love
Yes.
it. You do have some fun, spooky themes to your music. You're a metal artist for anybody that doesn't know already. Anybody that takes 2 seconds to look at your Instagram also knows that you enjoy doing covers from time to time. And one in particular that caught my attention was the new Linkin Park track, The Emptiness Machine. So, in general, I mean, we got that new album yesterday. How are we feeling about the return of Linkin Park?
I like it. It's so funny because I actually was having this lovely argument with someone on Threads. Um, no, I said that, especially like the song Two Face, is like that's bringing back like the OG, like hybrid theory, Linkin Park to me, at least.
Mhm.
And obviously, it's not exactly that, how many years old, 20 something years old that album is now, I think. And, it had that kind of feel. And this person's like, this album is nothing like this and going off. And I was like, at the end of the day, bands also evolve. And if you think about it, even with Chester and the band, I can't remember the name of the album at the moment, but they had an album come out and everybody ripped them apart. They're like,
Yeah,
this,
the one more light was on.
I think it was
Yeah.
when One More Light was on. And just in general, like that band always gets criticism, even if Chester's in the band. So I think, you can't please everybody. I love Linkin Park, and to be able to hear more Linkin Park makes me happy, whether or not Chester's in it. And obviously, I wish he was, but I think Emily is absolutely killing it. Her voice is sick. She sounds incredible live. I was watching a lot of the videos, and
Mm.
I'm happy for new music. I think people need to just get off their high horse and just enjoy what we have.
Yeah, musically speaking, like strictly about the music, I do feel the same way. I was a little bit like cautious when all the Scientology stuff came out, and I
Oh
took a
yeah.
minute to go like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm pretty uncomfortable with that part. But if I'm talking just about the music, it is interesting to hear because I do feel like if Chester were still present today, they would achieve that sound. That is
Yeah.
how, that is what they would be doing today, I would imagine. Would you agree?
I agree. And also about the Scientology thing too. Um, I don't know anything about her personal beliefs with that, but I do know like Scientology is a cult. It's not easy to just like get out of. So it's like with
Yeah.
that specifically, I will give someone the benefit of the doubt to be like, were they like brainwashed into this, or is this like a choice they made when they're older? I don't really know, but I also try really hard, depending, I mean, if it's something serious, that's a whole other issue. But something like that, I try really hard to dissociate the art from the person because if you really like dig into everybody's past, there's always going to be something that you're like, I don't know about that. And then I would never watch movies or listen to music anymore. So I try to like find that unless it's, something absolutely horrendous or like just like criminal or, there's a
Yeah.
line. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's 9 times out of 10, that's the stance I will take too. I'm usually able to separate the art from the artist. In the case of Linkin Park, I sit back and go, I don't quite know how deep Emily was
Yeah, that's
involved with that. I don't know how much has been uncovered as far as that goes. No, it's not something I want to support,
well,
but
yeah,
I
no.
do want to know more. I do want to know more as to like what level and how deep things really went. And right now, I don't. It's just speaking for myself. I haven't looked into it that deeply, but I would be curious to find that out. Said the same thing about like As I Lay Dying. Like, my God, that's a complete different story. You hired a hitman, bro. You hired a hitman.
That's why I
You
was
hired
like,
a
ten.
what? And that situation is getting wild too,
Oh
with
my
like
God,
Tim being the only
everybody
member of the
quit.
band. I,
I
I
wanted
was
to make
like,
a post be like, I quit as of I dying. I'm so sorry.
I quit. No, just say I quit Alex. I quit what is
I'm
me.
done. Just me.
I'm the only member of the band and I quit. Like,
But when I said there's a line there, like hiring a
yeah,
hitman, and also like again, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but the fact that like everybody quit because it was toxic and like environment, I can't, I don't know him, but I can't imagine him being the nicest person if
here's
everybody
your sign.
quit.
Exactly. What more information did you need to know? Like, did we
Yeah.
not learn this 15 years ago or
Yeah.
20 years ago, whenever it was that hit? That was my whole question the whole time too. I'm like, how did y'all not know? How did
And
you
like
like did you
no, I agree. And there's like a thing between like allegations, but like this happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but
Oh
I
my
don't
God. It's
know.
better than Real Housewives. I'll watch that all
Like,
day.
literally. Metal Housewives. That should be a show. Oh my God. The
That would
Real
be
Housewives of Metal
fantastic.
Bands.
Real Housewives of Metal Bands, I would definitely
I'll
put that
pitch it.
together. I would Carla Harvey needs to be on that so we can see a little bit of Charlie and her because
Yeah.
she does a lot of badass things on her own. Who else would you put on that cast?
Oh shit. Now I gotta think about it.
I know.
I mean, Alicia. Alicia. Is it
Right,
Alicia?
Alicia Taylor. Hmm.
Alicia. Yeah, Alicia
Alicia
Taylor.
Taylor. I would want her on that. I would want her in that cast too. I would
Because
agree
that would
with
be
that.
really interesting. And I feel like there's like a lot of it has to be, I don't even know. Would it be actual like musicians on both ends or just like the wives of
I
metal?
don't think, yeah, I think it just has to
Yeah,
be wives.
just
I
the
think it
wives.
just has
Okay.
to be wives. Like if you're a wife or if you're seriously committed, we'll say, for lack of a better term, I think that counts,
Okay.
in my opinion. And you're somehow connected to the metal world, even if you're not a musician yourself. But
We
because
got to come up with both.
Alicia's not like a musician herself, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But she's like, in the, she
she's
does
involved.
the cherry bombs, so she has like the whole thing.
Yeah, they would be part of my dream cast for sure. Other than Linkin Park, what have you been listening to lately?
Um, I've been listening to like a lot of everything, to be honest. Like
Yes.
I'll go like live on TikTok and people like I'll like do random like live covers and stuff, and people like shout out new songs and bands, and I don't know them, so like I write them down and I check them out. So it's just kind of just been like a bunch of random things, or even like on Threads. I was like, send me your song. So a bunch of I can't think off the top of my head, but like a bunch of people are sending me their stuff, and they were like really good, and they're all independent bands like from all over the country, and I just been
Yeah.
like listening to their stuff. So
It doesn't take much to be good anymore. I
yeah,
mean, with the advancements in technology, you can come out like looking pretty professional with very little budget. I mean, you
that's me.
do. That's you. You do. You literally do that. Could you talk to me about that journey? How do you find just the gumption, the drive, the ability to make everything you do happen on a smaller budget?
A lot of support from friends, and just a lot of, I don't suggest doing this, but a lot of planning advance and just hoping for the best. Like there'll be times I
Yeah.
might book something or like plan something and I might not have the funds just yet, but I'm like, it'll come together. And I'm also I have three jobs. One of my jobs is a freelance makeup artist. So I
I
like
can tell.
try really hard to like pick up some extra gigs just to like whatever
Yeah.
I can. But yeah, and also just like trying to be realistic. Like for example, like I really want to shoot a music video for this song, but I don't have the budget at the moment. So I'm doing kind of like a visual thing like for the Spotify that I hit up
Okay.
my friend yesterday. No, 2 days ago. No, was it yesterday? I don't know. All the days are blending together. But I was like, hey, so could we do something like this real quick? And we booked it for this Monday. So, and I have so many random clothes. I'll find something to wear. But I tried to make it work. So instead of doing a full musical video, I'm going to do something like this. And then how can I like milk this little like 30-second clip into like everything else? So it's just, you know, little little things here and there to kind of just build it up. But yeah, I
Yeah.
also plan without thinking sometimes too.
But getting the most out of what it is that you do create. I just heard that too. That's hugely important, whether it's batching content ahead of time or looking at multiple ways to use it. I mean, I have to do that. I think every creative has to do that in one way or another at one point. It's helpful.
And also finding a friend that will run around New York City with you and film you in random locations. Always great.
Yes, if I lived closer, I would be that friend. I would be like, let's go. Let's go shoot some outfits. Let's go. Let's do
Yep.
it. So you did hit on this a little bit, but the new single, for those who don't know, End of Me, on the way. What's got you excited for this one?
I really like the sound of this one. So I feel like this is the first song I think ever actually we kind of like wrote together. So I sat down with my
Oh.
drummer who also plays guitar. Um, and I sat down with my guitarist as well. And I had these ideas. I was listening to a lot of like Orbit Culture at the time. So I had
Mm.
that kind of vibe and feel. And I can't play guitar. I'm very good at like programming things, but for this one I wanted it to like have a, real feel. So I sat with them and I was like, this is the kind of vibe I'm going for. And me and Zach have worked together for like 6 or 7 years now. So we have a really good idea of like what we like in songs. And, he came up with this really cool riff in the beginning. And then he was coming up with the chorus and I was singing along. And we just kind of like, it organically came together. And he's an incredible artist as well. And he has his own solo stuff. So check it out, Zaki Ali. And he, yeah, it was just, it kind of like came together organically. And then Brandon came in and added like his own flair and stuff and his own riffs. And then it was just really, I don't know, it was really cool. And that was the last song that we had recorded for the EP. And I was just really happy with it. And I was like, I think this is going to be like the next single. So we have that and then more music coming soon.
Yes, and I love to hear that too. I mean, hope I was going to ask. Hopefully, this turns into an album next year. Possibly. What is on the horizon for 2025?
So it's going to be an EP, probably end of February at this point. Everything's done. So in terms of like music, like that's all done, which is very rare for me to be that ahead of schedule. So a weird feeling. But I'm, working on the cover art for a shoot like next month. And then, with that, I'm gonna have like physical CDs and, select merch for that. That's the hard part for me because my brain doesn't go in that world.
Mm.
So that's something that's gonna take me a hot second. That's like, I want to give it time, let everything simmer. And also this song came out a little bit later than I originally anticipated. But so
Okay.
many things like happened. So um
Life.
life, literally. Um like don't even know how else to explain it. But yeah, so I'm that was a little delayed. So I was like, let's have that simmer for a little bit, see what happens, and then announce the EP.
I can't wait. And life, I mean, honestly, is the reason for all of us, one way or another. Even if you have a full team behind you supporting you, sometimes it's just like, nah, not today.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It was so like in October, I got in a car accident. I was okay. My car was like essentially totaled. And
Oh,
then I got sick like right after it. And I was like, I had like things scheduled to do. So that
not
was
your favorite month of the year.
I know. I was out of commission for like 2 weeks. It's terrible.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
that didn't help with the delay.
no,
So,
no, especially when you're doing the majority of it on your own. That's the part that, like, again, most people don't see. If you're a solo act or if you're a creator that pretty much works alone, they don't see those behind the scenes. They don't always realize that you are the one literally putting the work behind the editing, the planning, the scheduling, the administrative stuff, or video content, editing all that together. Like, you have to have multiple skills. Like,
yeah, which I
really.
don't have. So it's a lot of like faking it till you make it or just like trying to figure it out. I do sometimes I'll reach out to like a friend who does like, videography or photography, be like, hey, like I can't get this to work. Like I'm on Photoshop trying to figure it out.
I'm
And
trying, yeah.
yeah, I said to my friend at like 1 o'clock in the morning, I was like, can you help me? So this is not working. Um, but yes, so I'm very fortunate that I have friends that are, nice and help me when I'm struggling with that. But yeah, a lot of it is like trial and error and trying to figure it out. I mean, I had to learn how to do web design. I learned how to, I produce and engineer my own sessions and,
Yeah.
graphic designer and videographer and editor and PR, booking agent, anything like I do it. So it's an interesting road.
Is the favorite part being your own makeup artist? Because if it were me and I had that talent level, I would be like, nobody else is doing this. It's all me. Like, that's the one thing that's me.
Well, no, I mean, even like later on in life, like I'd always want to do my makeup just because I know my face and I know what I like. And I've tried so many things and I know what doesn't work and I would just feel more comfortable. I actually, back in the day when I was in a girl group, that was a fun time. Um,
Ooh.
I did have a makeup artist come and I did my own eyebrows because I was like, I'm very particular with that. And I was like, I don't want to be a pain in the ass. And she did an amazing job with my makeup, but I really wanted my eyebrows to like be my own thing. So I trusted
Yeah.
her. But I mean, now speaking of which, I mean, I do my own hair, my own makeup, my own
Yeah.
wardrobe. So I like having that control. Although I would like assistance with wardrobe because I don't know what I'm doing. But
Ah!
so you can help me with that.
I would listen. I'm down. I'm down. I would do that. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm literally
Well,
next shoot, I'm gonna be like, help.
help, Val, pull some looks,
Yeah.
please.
Just like some inspo. I need your advice.
Just some inspo, definitely. Because I understand the assignment. It's alternative goth metal badass, but make it sexy.
Yes.
Period. That's the assignment. We understand it, and I understand that there's a lot to look forward to, and I can't wait for all of that. It's particularly the next single and the EP. Alex, we're stoked. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and getting us excited about all this.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.